Hi, welcome to Coffee Time with Christine. My name is Christine Althouse and I'm so glad that you've joined me here today. I thought today would be a great day to share a how-to video with you. It's kind of been a theme for me for the last week. With Women Speak, our theme this month is how to deliver effective how-to topics. And then the topic that I'm talking about is actually something that I get asked about a lot. And I'm actually just finishing up a video boot camp with my company. And this has been one of the biggest questions that I've been asked as well. And that is how to do a Facebook Live. For some people, that might just seem like very natural. You know, you just click the button go live and go live. Well, for some people, it is a little bit more intimidating for them. And so I thought I'm just going to do a how-to today on Coffee Time and actually share with you the simple steps that you can take to go live on Facebook and it be less intimidating. How does that sound? Does that sound good? I bet you it does. So I wrote, this morning I sat down and I thought, okay, so what are the actual steps that someone needs to take in order to do a Facebook Live? Maybe this is someone that's brand new to Facebook. Maybe there's someone that has never done video before. Or they have been doing Facebook Live videos, but they are having some issues that they're not quite understanding why they're going on. So I think part of the steps I'm going to share with you today are actually troubleshooting steps as well. So, all right, so let's get started. Who's ready to get started? Put a I am in the comments. And if you're watching this as a replay, thank you so much for coming and looking for this and watching the replay. I really appreciate your time and effort to come watch Coffee Time. So if this is a replay for you, I would love for you to put replay in the comments so I can come back and say, hey, how are you doing? Thanks for joining me, and answer any questions that you may have. At the end of this live, I am going to do a Q&A. So if you're watching and you have questions, then at the end, I'm going to go back and read the comments and answer any questions that you may have, because I might be completely clear and you might not have questions or you have questions because I may have missed something that you're struggling with and I could help you with, okay? So the first thing you're going to do when it comes to doing a Facebook Live is you're going to determine whether you're going to use a webcam on your laptop or your smartphone, okay? So those are two options you can use to do a Facebook Live. So what are the differences between using, your laptop or your smartphone? Well, first off, using a webcam, you want to make sure that your computer has a good webcam and a exterior microphone, because most microphones that come on your laptops don't give you great volume, great audio, I should say. So the best thing for you to do is, what I did was I actually purchased a webcam that is a microphone as well. And I'm just gonna show it to you. It is something that I just plug into my USB on my laptop, and then I just put it over top of where my webcam little dot is on my computer. But this is just, I started with this one because, when you're starting out, you just want to try something. So I bought it's a Logitech HD 1080p, and it says C920. I have no idea what that means. I'm assuming it means the quality, but I get pretty good quality from that webcam. It's definitely a lot better than what my laptop does. So if you're wanting to do, Facebook Lives from your computer, then I would go to your best technology store and ask them what the best webcam would be for you to use. Another advantage of using the webcam and your computer for Facebook Lives is you can actually share your screen. That's an option that you can do. You can also create a poll on your Facebook Live. And another benefit is a larger screen. You're looking at a larger screen yourself personally. So you're able to read comments better and just interact with your audience. So that's one of the big advantages of using your computer for a Facebook Live. The disadvantage to using your computer for a Facebook Live is you cannot add a guest to your Facebook Live. There's no option there for you to do that. The only way that you can do a Facebook Live and add a guest is if you're using a smartphone, okay? So, so that leads me into smartphones. The difference between a webcam and a smartphone, your computer and your smartphone, is your smartphone's with you everywhere, right? So it doesn't limit you to when you want to go live. A lot of the times we use Facebook Live for in the moment conversation or experience or interviews, right? So I want you to think about that. I personally hardly ever go live on my computer. And if I do, it's because of training purposes. But for the most part, all I ever use is my smartphone because it is a computer. You can do everything from it and you just have a little bit more accessibility by using your smartphone. And another fun thing is on the computer, you can't add in those little filters, you know, like on Snapchat. Well, if you use your smartphone to go live on Facebook, you can actually add in those filters and go and be funny. So I actually took some snapshots of going live on Facebook. So I'm going to share those with you right now to show you what it looks like when you hit go live on your option in Facebook. So as soon as you hit go live, you're gonna see a screen come up like this. So this is me this morning before I got out of the shower and I'm just, you know, au naturel preparing for today's video. And I thought I'm gonna take some screenshots of what it actually looks like to go live. So this is me on my smartphone and I'm holding my phone horizontally, and as soon as I hit go live, this is the screen that shows up. So what you see here are the different options that you can do. You can, well, they have the option there of a live video. It says sell something, draw it, bring a friend on, or mysterious mask. So these are just options that you can use when you are, when you want to go live. I wanted to show you that so you've seen that. So like that's what comes up on the screen when you go live. So the next thing that I wanted to show you was if you were to tap on the screen and decide that you want to start writing a description, then that's where it is right here. You see at the top of the screen where it says there's like a plus sign with a circle around it. When you touch that, that's when this comes back up again. You see all of those filters that you want to do. But if you see that circle with the arrow pushing down, if you push that arrow pushing down, then that allows you to see the full screen of yourself. So for the longest time, I couldn't figure that out. I'm like, how can I see myself? How can I see if I'm positioned properly in the frame before I go live? Well, when I hit that little arrow, then that is what made the biggest difference. I was able to see the full screen. Okay, so sometimes when you are wanting to go live and your lighting isn't the greatest, I found this really cool feature. And in this picture here, you can see in the top corner, I'm actually looking in the direction of that I want you to be looking at too. At the top corner, you see an X, you see the camera where you can switch your view or the opposite view, and then you see the little lightning bolt. If you touch that little lightning bolt, it actually illuminates your screen, which makes you brighter. So I find sometimes if my lighting isn't ideal, like I don't have the perfect lighting, say it's in the evening or something, and you don't have any really good natural light, or you just don't have good lighting in general, then just push that little lightning bolt and it illuminates your screen a little bit more and gives you a little bit more lighting. So a few other things I wanted to share with you that are fun. Like I want you guys to really experience Facebook Live and it being fun. and you being you. People want you to show your personality. So play with the filters. I do that every you know, occasionally I throw a filter on and I do a video that way. So here is what happens when you push the filter icon, which is actually I'll show you that. Okay, so see in the bottom right hand corner, there's a wand with a star on it. When you push that, this is what comes up. It gives you options for your filter. So I chose the one, obviously, that does this to me. I think that's the one that's right in the middle with the circle and it's highlighted blue. That is the one I chose. So have you ever wondered, how does someone flip their screen so that you can actually see that the writing is, people can read the writing? So right now, if I had writing up, okay, let me show you. So, okay, so if I held this up, you can't read that, right? Or you can. On Facebook, this is a different platform I'm using right now. If I did that on Facebook, it would be backwards. So there is an option to do that. So let me show you how to do that. So when you hit more of the options, you will see on the bottom left-hand side, there are 3 icons, and you can see that it's a flip icon. So you're able to flip. So I touched the one on the far left that is horizontal, and it flipped me to the opposite side. See what I mean? So these are features that you guys can play with within the Facebook app to use Facebook Live, okay? It is so much fun to do that. So those are things that, you know, really stand apart from using your computer and your smartphone. So that is the first step in deciding going live. Which platform am I going to use? Am I going to use my computer, or am I going to use my smartphone and have lots of fun with different filters or whatever it is? You don't have to use filters, but the option's there. So the second step that you're going to take in deciding, when you decide to do a Facebook Live, is deciding whether you want it to be public or you want it to be private. Now, if you make it public, then, you know, everybody's going to be able to see it, and if you are like creating amazing value and it's content people want to share, by having it public, they're going to be able to share it and anybody's going to be able to watch it. Now, if it's a topic that's more personal to you and you just want to market to the people that are your friends, then you're going to want to just keep it that way. But if they share it, then it's going to be limited to the people that are going to be able to watch it. Have you ever tried to click on a video that someone shared and it says content not available? That's probably because the original post wasn't set on public, so you weren't able to watch it because you weren't a friend or following them. So these are things that you need to keep in mind when you do want to go live on Facebook. Who do you want to see your content? Okay. And the third tip I'm going to give to you is, okay, I'm ready to go live. I've decided that I'm going to make it public. Now you need to realize how you're holding your phone. I think this is probably one of the biggest troubleshooting kind of areas most people struggle with, and they don't quite understand the difference between holding their phone vertically or horizontally and the experience it gives the audience. So my suggestion would be, first of all, you need to stabilize your phone. A lot of people, you know, hold their phone to do a live, and you know, it really does depend on what the topic is and where you are and the environment that you're in. I mean, I go live quite a bit too in events or while I'm out, so of course you're just gonna hold your phone. But you know, if you're gonna be like me right now, doing an in-depth conversation and you want to be hands-free because you're a hand talker, then get yourself a tripod, okay? Or do something that stabilizes your phone. That's one of the biggest things that you need to keep in mind when going live, because you really want to make it an experience for your audience that they enjoy, right? So the differences between a horizontal video and a vertical video. So a horizontal video is like the one I'm doing right now. And it allows your audience to see a larger picture, right? They get to see your background. Like, it's not all about you. It's about you and your background, right? It gives just a little bit more visual for people. It's great for if you have a background that you like to display, or you don't like to be just the one in the screen, right? That's an advantage. Another advantage to a horizontal Facebook Live is if you want to have guests join in on your Facebook Live, then being horizontal, then you will see each other side by side. Have you ever noticed that when you watch a Facebook Live with a guest, they are either side by side, or it is a full screen of the host and a little box of the guest? So that's the big difference. So if you were holding your phone vertically, a vertical Facebook Live is another way to think of it is portrait. You know, a portrait is a picture of you. So if you're holding your phone vertically, then the whole screen is just going to be you. And for the most part, a lot of people hold their phones way too close, and it's going to be a huge face video, right? So these are things that you need to keep in mind. So if you are holding your phone vertically and you do want to add a guest onto your Facebook Live, then keep in mind that they are going to be in a little box up in the corner of your video. Nothing wrong with that. It's just, you know, how do you want it to look? You know, it's just about your preference, your application, and the experience you want to give your audience in watching the content that you're delivering. So these are the few things that I want you to keep in mind before you hit go live, because you have to decide before you hit that go live button which way you want to hold your phone. Because if you were holding your phone vertically, like you normally, most people hold their phone vertically and scroll through their phone. If you push go live and then decide you want to go horizontal, it's kind of too late. You have to decide on the orientation of your phone prior to hitting go live, okay? That's something I want you guys to remember. Before going live, decide, am I gonna do a horizontal video or a vertical video? Okay, so on top of this tip number 3, I'm going to go through a couple troubleshooting because there might be a few things that are happening, and I've experienced this as of late, because yesterday I was in my video bootcamp group and we were playing with how to do live videos, and one of the people in the group wanted to add me as a guest so that they can experience what it was like to go live and have a guest to join them. And she was holding her phone horizontally, but it still made her show up sideways. Have you ever had that happen where you went to go live on Facebook and you were doing everything that you thought was right, but you were still showing up sideways? If that's happened to you, then put sideways in the comments. So I did some troubleshooting yesterday and figured that one of the first things that you're gonna wanna check is that you have turned on the rotation option on your phone, okay? So because a lot of people will turn it off, because when you're watching stuff and you turn your phone, it starts flipping. You ever see that? Your phone, the content starts flipping and you're like, oh, this is annoying. So you turn the rotation option off of your phone. Well, that needs to be on in order for you to do a Facebook Live and change the orientation. So make sure that you go into your settings and change the rotation of your phone. Now, if you don't know how to do that, I actually made a tutorial yesterday on my Facebook page, and you can find it there. If you're watching this and you're not on my Facebook page, then you can find me here, Christine Altos. And on that page, I have a tutorial on how to change the rotation on your phone for an iPhone. I'm not sure on Samsung or any other phone, but I was able to create the tutorial for an iPhone. So hopefully that helps you. So that is some troubleshooting in step 3, and that's how to hold your phone before going live. Okay, so you're ready to go live and you hit the button and you see all the screens that I showed you with the filters. I mean, if you're just starting out, then just avoid all of those filters and those extras and just hit the description, you know, put something in there that's gonna catch your audience, and then do it. Just hit the button, hit go live. Just do it and have fun with it, because, you know, a lot of people don't do a Facebook Live because it's not the right time. Their hair isn't right, their background isn't right, they don't have any makeup on, they're not sure what to say. These are just things that hold us back from really creating the content that our audience really wants from us, right? So, you know what, everybody, I'm gonna be honest with you, your first Facebook video probably is going to suck, but that's okay. At least you did it, right? You just did not do it. I mean, don't let another 6 months or a year go by saying, man, I wish I could do Facebook Lives. Man, you can do it. Just do it. Don't stop doing something because you're afraid of perfection. It's not about perfection. How many people have seen a Facebook Live that completely was not perfect, but you enjoyed it, right? You enjoyed the content, and Facebook Live allows you to be yourself. I mean, people get to know, like, and trust you. They hear your voice, they see your facial expressions, and they get to know your personality. And that's why I love doing Facebook Lives. Okay? So, another tip, okay, so you're live. So number 4 is just doing the deed, going live, right? Just do it. A tip on going live is, generally, if you want Facebook to start getting people's attention that you are live, then, you know, this changes all the time, but on average, a Facebook Live will start to go viral from Facebook after 10 minutes. So after you've been on for 10 minutes, if you want an audience to come in and start talking with you and making conversation, then a Facebook Live typically should be 10 minutes or more. It doesn't mean you can't go live in the moment and only talk for 5 minutes. That's perfectly fine. That just means you're just not worried about, you know, talking with people. They'll come in afterwards. Most of the times, if it's a short Facebook, you won't have a lot of people on with you, but that's okay. They're gonna come back and watch the replay anyways. It's just if you want people to join you, then you're gonna wanna be 10 minutes or more, just for the algorithm to kick in, all right? Tip number 5, if you want to also add in guests, is make sure your guest has headphones. You're going to want to make sure your guest has headphones, because what happens is there becomes an echo. And it's not your guest that's echoing, it's actually you, the host, that is echoing through the guest's video. And so they need to put headphones on. You know, this happens probably 90% of the time, the echoing. So it's just good I can't say that word. It's just good to do. It's just good to do. So if you have a guest join you, then make sure to have ask them to put headphones in so that the echoing doesn't happen. I've had that happen on many occasions, and we finally figured it out, and now it is just so much better if you just remind your guest to put some headphones on. So not sure why that happens, but it does, and it's super annoying, and then it takes away from your live because people are scrounging for headphones and all that kind of stuff. So trust me, I've been there. Another tip, if you're trying to add on a guest, for tip 5, is if they're not being able to be added to your live, there could be a couple reasons. It could be that they haven't rotated their phone the same way you have. Maybe they're holding their phone vertically and you're horizontal. They have to be the same way. They also have to be on a smartphone. They cannot join your live Facebook from a computer. So that's a huge point. I've had that happen a lot in the past where people couldn't get joined because they were coming on with their computer. So you just have to make sure that they're coming on with their smartphone and that they're holding it the exact same rotation that you are. Okay, that's very, very important. And another reason that they might not be able to connect onto your Facebook Live is connection. Maybe their Wi-Fi or data or their internet is just not strong enough. That actually happened to me yesterday too. I was in my video boot camp group, and the girl could not join my Facebook Live because of the signal. Like, her strength was low. So she went live in the group, and then I joined her, and it was able to allow us to connect, but it was still pretty poor quality on her end, and it was pixely and all that kind of stuff. So these are things that happen, guys. It's technology, and we can't get caught up on the glitzy stuff because it just happens. It's still an experience, and you're still doing it. So, you know, you just kind of learn as you go, and it just makes a difference to do these few different things that I'm sharing with you, because I've done them. You know, it's all happened to me. So if it's happened to me, I'm sure you're going to experience it too. But why not take my tips and apply them so you don't have to learn longer than I did, right? It's always great to just share things with, you know, people that you've experienced and make it less frustrating for them. So my last tip for you guys, tip number 6 on how to do a Facebook Live, is when you end your Facebook, be sure to hit share on the screen that shows up afterwards. I've had people not do that and then come to me afterwards and say, hey Christine, I did a Facebook Live today, but I can't find it. And what they did was they actually deleted it instead of sharing it. So, I mean, that is an option. Maybe you didn't like it and you want to delete it, but that's fine. But please hit the share button. That way it gets shared for the replay, okay? Because that's what it's for. It's for the replay, so people can come back and watch it. And it does take a few minutes to process. So if you've hit share and then you've gone to your page or your profile looking for your Facebook Live and you're like, where'd it go? Well, you got to give Facebook a few minutes, because depending on how long you talked, it just takes a few minutes to process, and then it'll be up there because it has to go through the whole thing and then start from beginning, right? So just be patient and it will be there. So guys, that is the 6 tips. I am going to switch over here to see if there's any comments or questions from anybody that has been watching. So all right, so I'm just gonna start here. Hey, Motzi, thank you so much for joining me. David says that it keeps freezing on him. Okay, so hopefully that's just the quality. Yeah, it's just the internet. I'm doing my best on my end. I can do what I can do. I'm using my data, and I'm also using a third party. That way I'm using, so you might have been watching this. I am Facebook Live right now, but I'm using a third-party provider called Switcher Studio, which allows me to go live on Facebook, but then I'm also able to share pictures and videos and all kinds of things, just to up my video experience for you. That's why I have done this. So during the live, it could be freezing on you, but if you did watch this in the recording, then no worries, it would be streaming just fine. So it's just the live portion of it. So, and my internet, you know, it's technology, things get glitchy. All right, guys, so I don't see any questions here. Hopefully that's because I was able to answer them really well without having you ask questions. But if this was a replay and you do have questions, please drop them in the comments and I can come back to you and answer them the best way that I can. So that is Coffee Time with Christine for today. Thank you so much for joining me, and we'll see you again next week. Bye for now.